Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. If you watched my previous video or if you're just watching this one, welcome and thank you for watching. Basically, this video is basically me giving tips on medical assistant job interviews. I graduated from school for medical assistant in August 2019. So fresh out of school, I had to look for a job. So I've been on plenty of job interviews. It was really hard. But I finally got a job. I probably went on about 8 interviews. Yeah, it was really difficult. And my externship actually wanted to hire me, but they only wanted to hire me to work one day, 9 to 1. Like what was I supposed to do with that? Basically, I wrote down all the questions that were commonly asked, you know what I mean? Like, these are the common questions that job interviewers ask for medical assistant positions. But I do want to give a few other tips before I go into the questions. The first tip is confidence. You have to go in there with confidence. You can't go in there angry. You can't go in there with an attitude. You have to look very professional, neat. You can't go in there with purple hair, red hair. You can't go looking wild, all these piercings in your face. It's considered unprofessional. Appearance is the first thing they judge you upon, of how you're dressed, how your nails are. You know, if your nails is looking like Cardi B. What usually helped me with the confidence is basically going there with the attitude as if you got the job already. Go in there like you got the job already. Like they like you already. Like they know you already. Basically like that. I would say, depending on the interviewer, I believe that it's okay to add a little sense of humor, just a little bit, just to show how you have an outgoing personality also, because they're not going to want someone who aren't comfortable with people to work with their patients. They want outgoing personality. They want someone to make the patients feel comfortable. So you have to, show them that you're very outgoing in a professional manner. Don't go in there, doing your mama jokes. I don't even think people still do your mama jokes, but forget that I even said that part. Third tip is to always be prepared with your paperwork. So you always have a folder and always have at least 3 copies of your resume. 3 copies, everything should be 3 copies. 3 copies of your resume, 3 copies of your reference list, 3 copies of your recommendation letter, and 3 copies of either your transcript, your degree, your certification, something, or you could bring the original just to show that you have the original. But if they want a copy, you could give them a copy. It just shows that you're very organized and prepared. So when they ask for it, you hand it to them. You know what I mean? Because I'm only saying that. I know it could be common sense, but there's plenty of times when I went to interviews and there were other candidates who were not prepared. How do you come up to an interview without your resume? Now we can go over the common questions, and I'm going to talk about how you can answer them. So the first question that I always heard during my job search, the question is, what made you want to become a medical assistant? You want to make sure that you imply that you like to help people. It's always good to say that you want to further your career into helping people, like nursing or whatever, who knows, or you want to become a manager, or you want to be a supervisor, or you want to do this, you want to do that. So always make sure that you add a little goal in there, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. The next question, I hate this question. The question is, how would you handle a difficult patient? Now, this question is so, like, I don't want to give the wrong advice, but all I can say is make sure you state that you would talk to a supervisor, okay? Make sure you state that you would listen, you would get a better understanding of why the patient upset, and supervisor. Now, I'm not telling you nothing else from there, because that question right there always gets me. But those are the three little dots for that question, okay? State that you will listen to the patient. State that you want to get a better understanding of why the patient is upset, and you will bring it to the supervisor's attention. And always at the end, come up with a solution. Another one is, tell me about yourself. You basically want to convince them, because you know what they're looking for. they know what they're looking for. So it's like, why would you say something that they're not looking for? You know what I mean? Usually they want somebody who's a fast learner. They usually want someone who has great communication skills. Those are the two main ones: communication skills, fast learner, and multitasker. Because medical assistant, there is a lot of multitasking involved. I don't care where you are, there's always multitasking. I don't think there's ever a medical assistant job where you sit there and do one thing and one thing only. Like, I feel like if you're doing clinical, there's a whole bunch of clinical things. You got to triage the patient, then you got the next patient coming in, and blah 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 blah. Even if you're doing administrative, the phone is ringing, you got to schedule appointments, you got to do this, you got to file this, you got to get records for this. So medical assistant is just a multitasking job. So I just make sure that I always state that I'm a great multitasker. Is what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? Now, these two questions have to interact with each other. They have to. I don't think it makes sense to be like, oh, my strengths is that I'm a great communication, but my weakness is I'm late. Like, your weakness shouldn't never be something that where they're like, oh, no. It's more like something where they, okay, we understand, we can handle that. And it should always have a solution. You should always have a solution to your weakness, and you should always state how you're trying to overcome that weakness. For example, right now, my strengths is that I'm a great multitasker. My weakness is that I tend to bite a bit, like I tend to take on more tasks than I can handle and end up overwhelming myself, but the tasks still get done. And I'm overcoming that weakness by prioritizing my tasks. Then the last question that is always asked with any job interview, not even medical assistant, any job interview, is why should we hire you? Make sure you state that you have skills and that you will be able to use them at their facility and improve them. Make sure you state that you have skills, you're willing to use them at their facility, and you're willing to improve them, meaning you're willing to learn more, you're willing to grow within that facility. I just got home about an hour ago. I'm still in my scrubs. I just came from work. I'm like, hey, I might as well just record another video because I was thinking about it. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you came back to my channel, thank you so much for returning. And I hope this video helped. I hope this built confidence. I hope you took some notes. I hope you kept things in mind. And I hope you get the job. You got the job. You got the job. Right after you click this video, you hired. Like, you hired. Right there. You got the job. I'm telling you, you got the job. You got the job. You hired. Your start day is tomorrow. Even if tomorrow's a Sunday for you, it's still tomorrow. Good luck with everything. Bye.